Hello everyone. So today we are going to go through the multiple choice question type in the reading test. These kind of multiple choice are one of the most frequent questions in the IELTS test. You could have some variables like you would have a number of questions and you have to choose one letter to answer that question based on information from the text, or you would have a very specific question. You could choose more than one option. In today's video, I'm going to show you one of the types, one of the variables, that is when you have to choose more than one option in the same question. Either way, the strategy for these kind of questions is that you have to underline the keywords in the questions, because that would actually help you scan the text and locate the place to read more slowly. So we don't read the options. That's not necessary until the end, just to avoid confusions and to avoid being biased. So basically, you would have to scan the text looking for keywords. When you find one of them, one of the keywords from the question, you would read that section a little bit more slowly, and you would try to understand as much as you can about the text and what you're reading in that section. So you would have to kind of like rephrase it in your mind, put it in simple words, and try to understand what you're reading, so that then when you go back to the options, the correct option will clearly stand out from the others. So let's go through the question, and it says, which two statements are made about the round table on sustainable palm oil? So this is a name, and whenever you have names or numbers in the question, they are definitely your keywords, and then it's very easy to find them in the text when you are scanning it. So we go through the text and we try to scan, looking for that keyword, that name, very, very quickly. And we can find it in paragraph G. And we can find as well the abbreviations that they stand for the name. Round Table on Sustainable Palm Oil. So now I have to read that section very, very slowly. Industry is not regulated by a group called consisting of palm growers, retailers, products, manufacturers, and other interested parties. Over the past decade or so, an agreement has gradually been reached regarding standards that producers of palm oil have to meet in order for their product to be regarded as officially sustainable. The insists upon no virgin forest clearing, transparency, and regular assessment of carbon stocks and other criteria. Once the requirements are fully satisfied, is the oil allowed to be sold as certified sustainable palm oil. Recent figures show that it now certifies around 12 million tons of palm oil annually, equivalent to roughly 21% of the world's total palm oil production. So once I read that very slowly, I understand that they are talking about the duties and responsibilities of this organization. So what I'm doing in my head, what I'm doing in my mind, is I'm kind of like summarizing what I read in that section. And when I clearly understand what I read, then I go back to the options and I will try to read the options and find some of the keywords or some of the common ideas between the options and the text. So I'm going to now read all the options. Membership has grown steadily over the course of the last decade. B, it demands that certified producers be open and honest about their practices. Took several years. So it took several years to establish the criteria for the certification. Its regulations regarding system are stricter than those governing other industries, so a comparison between different industries. And finally, it was formed at the request of environmentalists, so created by environmentalists concerned about the loss of virgin forests. Okay, so now I will try to find connections between those options and what I read in the passage. So now we would have to read more in detail. Consistent fact growth returns. Over the past decade, so there's some time there, an agreement has gradually been reached regarding standards, so something about criteria, that producers of palm oil have to meet in order. So if we go back to the options and we read that carefully, as we said, C is speaking about the time that took to create this agreement and these standards. Let's continue reading. This organization insists, so it's a quite strong verb. No virgin forest clearing, transparency, and regular assessment of carbon stocks. Okay, among other criteria. Oh no, okay, so it's about the duties and about the certification allowed to be sold. Producers of palm oil have to meet in order. So it's quite about, yeah, what they have to do in order to sell it. And that's the one that speaks about demands, so insists producers be open and honest. So this is about the transparency, about honesty. So that question is option B. Our next video would be how to do the multiple choice kind of questions when you just have to choose one option for each question. Okay, so that's all for me. I hope that this was useful and see you soon. Bye!